At this crucial time in the Florida Bar's 70-year history, I can think of no person more prepared and suitable for the position of Young Lawyers Division President than Santo DiGangi. Now, I was only provided 3 minutes to introduce Santo, which I could have spent an hour. It's self-imposed Josh Doyle deadlines. Thank you, Josh. And now I'm violating the 3 minutes by talking about the 3 minutes and practicing Santo's name. But he is probably one of the most unique and special people I've ever known. I'm going to highlight 3 of his very many great qualities here for you today. And those 3 qualities are loyalty, dedication, and honor. I'm going to start with the last one first, honor. Honor is maintaining a code of conduct which includes the critical elements of valor, chivalry, honesty, and compassion. Thank you, Wikipedia. Santo is an honorable man. He is humble, he is quiet, yet a very powerful leader. He's respectful, he's open to others and their views, and he listens. He is a consensus builder, and he is honest as Abraham Lincoln. Compassion is one of Santo's greatest traits. He's a compassionate person that truly goes out of his way to assist others, not to be recognized because it's the right thing to do. He is simply the epitome of professionalism and civility. He doesn't simply talk about these words. He believes them in his core, and he lives them every day. Honor is not just something the military embraces. We embrace it as well, and Santo is a man of honor. Dedication. For whatever reason, when I envision dedication as it relates to Santo, I have that vision in my head of that little dog that clamps onto the bottom of your pants and simply won't let go. Although this analogy wouldn't work completely unless it were one of those hairless dogs, you know. I couldn't help it. If Santo believes in something, he simply does not let go. He does not let obstacles get in his way, and he finds his way to work around whatever is hindering him from his goal. And dedication's a hard trait to embrace because it goes hand in hand with hard work. Santo will not be outworked. He simply puts his head down and gets the job done with efficiency and the highest degree of quality. Dedication doesn't just apply to his bar work. Santo is a dedicated practicing attorney with our firm, a phenomenal lawyer. He's dedicated to his bar work as the officer of the Young Lawyers Division and a family man. And I'd be remiss without mentioning his dedication to those god-awful orange and blue Florida Gators. Just as Polston gets it. He's a double Gator, by the way. So this brings me to loyalty, the third trait. This is one that is near and dear to my heart, as personally I have always believed loyalty to be one of the most important qualities a person can possess. Santo is a loyal man. He is loyal to his beautiful, wonderful, intelligent wife, Stephanie, his mother, known as Nona, to his sons Giuseppe, little Zepp, a future rock and roll guitar player, and George, his younger brother, his brother Luigi, who's also here, and the rest of his extended family, friends, and colleagues. He's also very loyal to the memory of his father, who was a successful attorney in Sicily before immigrating to the United States, sacrificing his own career in Italy to give his family a better life in the States. Santo lost his father when he was 9 years old, but I feel his presence here today, Santo. So I've talked to you about Santo's 3 greatest qualities, and now that I've passed my 3-minute limit, sorry Josh, I will simply end where I began. Santo is a highly unique individual. Those of you who are fortunate enough to know him well undoubtedly love everything about him as a lawyer, a husband, a father, a person. He exemplifies every positive quality we look for, and we are all blessed not only to have him in our lives, but to be leading one of the largest, most significant, most critical young lawyers divisions in the country, and that is our Florida YLD. Santo is loyal to the Young Lawyers Division. His constituents of the 107,000 lawyers of the state, he understands and comprehends the many challenges we're facing today in this wonderful branch of government. His loyalty to the profession, the bar, to the citizens of the state of Florida, and of course to you, Justice Candidate, and to the members of the Supreme Court, will shine through his term as president. I'm looking forward to your progress, my good friend. Chief Justice Candidate, I would like to now present you with a man who exemplifies honor, dedication, and loyalty. The next president of the Young Lawyers Division of the Florida Bar, Santo DiGangi.
Thank you so much, Greg, for your kind and mainly true words. Before we get sworn in, I would like to take a moment to introduce Adam White, who is the incoming president-elect of the Young Lawyers Division. Adam is a partner at the law firm of Emanuel, Shepard & Condon in Pensacola. There are 3 things I would like to share about Adam that everyone knows shortly after getting to know him. 1, Adam is a huge Missouri fan, and probably the only Missouri fan in Florida. Go Gators. 2, Adam is a harder worker than you. He has been the hardest working member of our board over the last several years, and when he's assigned a task, he doesn't just complete it, he does it enthusiastically and exceptionally. And 3, and most important, Adam is a consummate family man. As much as Adam loves the YLD in Missouri, there is nothing in this world he loves more than his wife Katrina and his children Elliot and Peyton. Adam is a wonderful friend, and my family could not be more excited about sharing the coming year with his family. Joining them on stage is my wife and much better half, Stephanie, who is my world, and my 2 children, Giuseppe with the hair, and George.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Santo DiGangi,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
to uphold, protect, and defend
to uphold, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Florida Constitution,
the Florida Constitution,
the rules regulating the Florida Bar,
the rules regulating the Florida Bar,
and the bylaws of the Young Lawyers Division.
and the bylaws of the Young Lawyers Division.
And I further agree
And I further agree
to carry out to the best of my ability
to carry out to the best of my ability
all responsibilities pertaining to my office.
all responsibilities pertaining to my office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Good best.
Chief Justice Candidate, President Suskauer, President-elect Stewart, President-elect Designate Foster Morales, distinguished guests, family, and friends. I am honored to be here in front of all of you, serving in this role on a board I hold in such high regard. Our task is daunting, yet our spirits are high as we face the many challenges that meet young lawyers as they are sworn into the Florida Bar. This is going to be an exciting year. Michelle, John, and Dory, the YLD cannot thank you enough for giving us a seat at such an important table this past year. The YLD will continue to assist the Florida Bar and the Board of Governors whenever called upon to do so. John, I am thrilled to be working with you this coming year, and I hope you enjoy working with me almost as much as you enjoy picking out socks in the morning. Almost. Young lawyers accomplished a lot this year. Led at the helm by the great Christian George, the stigma-free YLD campaign was an incredible success. From the moment of Christian's speech last year, he has tirelessly worked to promote mental health in our profession. There is an old proverb that says, "A society grows great when old men plant trees they know they shall never sit in the shade of." I like this not only because it reminds me and Christian that he's older than me, but also because it shows the lasting effects this initiative will be felt by in Florida for years. This year, I have had increasingly more conversations with men and women on the pressures of this job and how they cope by finding professional help. What once may have been seen as unavoidable baggage in being a lawyer is now being approached with creative solutions for the mind and body. In another 50 years, when Christian and I are hopefully long retired, I hope that young lawyers being sworn into the bar know how to better take care of themselves and that satisfaction in this profession is at an all-time high. In 2070, they may not give you credit, my friend, but you can smile knowing that you lit a spark, and we will continue to fan the flame from which others will feel the warmth for decades to come. I hope to keep up this momentum started by Christian and rolled into this year's initiatives. Bar service is important to maintain a high standard for our noble profession. Yet, in its very name of service, there is irony in that government and public sector lawyers, our profession's public servants, are often not involved in or even excluded from the process. I recently listened to a sermon, and the pastor commented, "If service is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you." I began my career as a trial court law clerk at the 15th Judicial Circuit here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Wet behind the ears and with no solid path in mind, I was under the wing of Amy Borman, former general counsel of the 15th Circuit, who's here today. Amy came to know me and saw potential that I didn't even see in myself. I attribute her mentorship to the success I have achieved these last 10 years. Amy, during your tenure, you guided many young lawyers to their future, and you can count me as one of them. Amy encouraged us to get plugged into our communities and to engage in bar service. She exemplified precisely that service in her leadership role. Being involved in the Palm Beach County Bar Association, who is here today, my home bar, showed me what lawyers in my town and around the state were dealing with, whether it be student debt, trying to find a job, or even setting out on their own. Yet most voluntary bar meetings and events, statewide and nationally, are attended almost exclusively by private practitioners. Everyone should have a voice, but are all voices truly being heard? Are we listening to the needs of government and public sector lawyers? Are we providing sufficient resources and programming to them? Are we being mindful about ensuring that those lawyers who interact the most with the general public on a daily basis are part of the discussion regarding the future of our bar? Unfortunately, this population of lawyers is not adequately represented and often feels as though it has been forgotten. We hope to change that this year by bringing government and public sector lawyers into the fold. Celia Thacker-Dorn and Randall Richardson will be heading our initiative to reach out to these lawyers, beginning with government lawyers. Both Celia and Randy have a decade of experience as being government lawyers, and have already begun the process of planning the first ever Young Government Lawyer Summit taking place on November 1st in Orlando. Our goal is to bring government stakeholders from across Florida together in one room to discuss topics directly impacting young government lawyers. My charge to government leaders around the state is to attend our summit so that we can work towards solving real issues facing the attorneys you supervise. This initiative is a natural evolution from the Stigma-Free YLD campaign because government lawyers are working 70-hour weeks with huge caseloads and enormous responsibility in their hands. As an assistant state attorney in Miami-Dade under the great Catherine Fernandez-Rundle, I work with the best trial lawyers in the state, both at my office and the public defender's office. Regrettably, Their compensation doesn't reflect that status, and there are no dollar signs added to their checks after a big win. They simply nod and go back to work. Working in the public sector isn't due to a lack of choices. It is a calling. It is a noble path and possibly the truest example of what a lawyer should look like. So why aren't more of them here? Let's change that. The YLD will also be tackling other tough issues this year. Iris Elijah, Sierra Willis, and their law school committee are diligently working to restructure the former law student division into a new and more effective entity that will better address the needs of law students, law schools, and the bar. G.C. Murray, Nick Zabresny, and the Pro Bono Community Service Committee will be focused on making the YLD and its affiliates more community service oriented. Anika Ashton, Mike Sasso, and the Inclusion and Equality Committee will be working toward a joint event with the Leadership Academy, and while also ensuring YLD programming continues to maintain diverse speakers and perspectives. We will also continue our march with fall toward installing lactation rooms in every courthouse in the state and advocating for the parental leave rule. We need to take care of our babies, and there is no room for stigma there. It was difficult to just name those initiatives because all 18 of our committees are incredibly committed to the work we do. We are anxious and excited to get to work. No man is an island, and I am certainly no exception. Countless people have brought me to this position, and I would be remiss to not take this moment to thank a few of them. My father, Giuseppe, was a lawyer in Sicily before he came to the United States, and I wanted to be just like him. He died when I was 9 years old, but I pursued his career with single-mindedness until achieving this goal in 2009. He was the inspiration, but my mother Rose was the engine to that pursuit. I am only now starting to comprehend the sacrifices she made as a single parent. I love you, Mom. Thank you also to my Thank you also to my best friend and brother Luigi, who always reminds me to fight the good fight. Big thank you to my Aunt Chechi and my Nonna, who are here today, and for everything you've done over the years for us. My late grandfather Luigi passed away 7 years ago, and while I wish he was here today, I know he and my dad are here in spirit. And my in-laws, George and Lynn, came all the way from Maryland to be here. Your presence means everything to me. Thank you to my law firm family, Critton, Luthier, and Coleman, who gave me the opportunity to come back to my home to West Palm Beach to practice. I have learned so much from Bob Critton and Mark Luthier, but my last 6 years at the firm have been working primarily under the tutelage of former YLD president and Florida Bar president Greg Coleman. Greg, every day I am lucky to learn from and collaborate with you. You push me to be my professional best, and I am forever grateful for the opportunity and freedom that you gave me to serve on this board. And to my secretary, Carol, who keeps me sane, don't ever leave me, please. To my Young Lawyers Division Board of Governors family, you all astound me. You are the most brilliant and hardworking people I have ever met. You are all juggling full-time law careers, have extended family demands at home, and yet every week you put in extra hours into this board with passion and devotion. I don't know how I tricked you into letting me lead you this coming year, but I vow to do my best to steer this ship with steadfastness and dignity. And of course, Marshall Cassidy Award winner Tom Miller, you are the steady hand that guides the YLD year after year. Without you, this ship would have sunk long ago. Thank you, board members and Tom, for all you have taught me and how you have loved my wife and boys. Most importantly, to my wife and my soulmate, Stephanie, without you, none of this would be possible. Stephanie has a master's degree in social work and has the biggest heart of anyone I have ever met. She is a beacon of selflessness, compassion, and faith. Traveling through life with you by my side has made me a better lawyer, a better father, and a better man. I thank God every day for bringing you into my life and for being the mother of my children. I love you. And my two boys, Giuseppe and George, I one day hope to be as sweet as George, but that probably won't happen. And Giuseppe, just because you have that gorgeous hair doesn't mean one day it won't look like this. But for now, enjoy it. Your future will be here faster than you know. For the rest of us, our future is now. Let's make sure we do our part to serve our young lawyers who are the future of this profession. Thank you.